we want?
Charges dropped.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Charges dropped.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Charges dropped.
When do we want it?
Now.
Mike Miller.
Are you a UAW member?
I am.
Can you talk about what's going on here today?
Yeah, the UC administration seems to believe that it's acceptable for them to try to intimidate working people, their employees, for standing up and protesting the university's violation of their rights. They're trying to do this through all different types of intimidation, student conduct charges, trying to arrest people, breaking into their homes and conducting what we believe to be unlawful searches and seizures of their personal property. It's outrageous, and we're not going to be intimidated, and we're not going to stand for it. And the 1.5 million active and retired United Auto workers aren't going to stand for it. No one in the labor movement's going to stand for it.
Why are they doing this? It seems like it's against the law that what they're doing. I mean, charging people with felonies for chalking.
What do we do?
I mean, you'd have to ask them why they're doing it. I can only guess that they're doing it to try to intimidate us, and we're here to tell them it's not going to work. And we're also here to put the public officials on notice who are helping them do this, the DA in San Diego, and anyone else who's helping the University of California try to intimidate working people for exercising their rights. That's not acceptable, and we will hold you accountable for that.
Where is Governor Newsom, Lieutenant Governor? They're on the Board of Regents.
What do we want?
They're inside right now. We'll see what they say.
You think they should stand up against it? You think this chancellor should be fired?
Obviously, they should stand up against it. We'll see what they're made of.
The Human Resources Department here at UC spends a lot of money on lawyers fighting the unions.
When do we want it?
You think that's proper?
What do we want?
No, it's an affront to taxpayers in the state of California that our hard-earned tax dollars are being spent on this kind of nonsense. And it's an affront to all the students who pay tuition and fees at the University of California that their tuition and fees are being spent on this. It's unacceptable. They want to keep control of the working conditions. You know, they have a sense of benevolence, of paternalism, where they want to improve people's working conditions because they think it's the right thing to do, and they want to do it in the way they want to do it. We're here to say we want to bargain collectively over those things. We want to democratize the university so that the decisions about how the resources are distributed are done democratically with input as equals from the workers.
We have ASME, UFCW, 5810, 2865, and UniteHere. Now, what's bringing us all here today? It's because we know that when the university retaliates against our workers for our legal and protected right to organize, that's an attack on all of us. And we also know the university does not want to fully implement our contract, and they would rather see our workers arrested and intimidated than to fully implement the rights and benefits that we won last winter. Hey, but you know what we also know? We know that when we're under attack, we come together and we fight back. Everyone's here probably heard about the 3 arrests that happened of a postdoc worker and a graduate student, or 2 graduate student workers at San Diego. Recently, just last night, a 4th worker, while they were not home, had the university police show up at their door, break into their house, and put a search warrant on their table. And you know what? And you know what the search warrant was for? It was for not only papers and electronics, but also for evidence of union activity. Since when is it a crime to be participating in union activity? Yeah, that's right, everybody. Something else I wanted to mention too is, you know, we all know that these arrests at San Diego are certainly one of the most shocking examples of this retaliation, but it is definitely not an isolated incident. The contract implementation issues that the workers at San Diego were protesting for and organizing around are happening at every single campus. At UC Davis, victims or survivors of abuse are organizing to make sure that we can get our interim measures, which the UC is retaliating against us for. And at UCLA. And at UCLA, the UC is stalling the grievance process, saying that all the grievances are ineligible for processing, whatever that means. Similar things are happening at all other campuses, including thousands of postdocs across the UC who are not receiving their raises, and grad workers who are arbitrarily appointed below the 50% appointments. Now, are we just going to take that? Are we going to organize and fight? That's exactly right, everybody. Now we have some speakers that want to talk in more detail about what's happening and what we're going to do about it. First, we have Udayan Tandon, who's a graduate student researcher at UC San Diego in computer science.
Thank you, Luna. I feel like I need to get warmed up a little bit after being in there, so I'm going to ask you a few questions to help me get warmed up. So who all here is a union member? Who all has stood on a picket line? Who all has sacrificed their own research, their own teaching, their own well-being to stand with co-workers against this university? All right. Now that I know I'm amongst friends, I can introduce myself. I'm Udayan Tandon. I'm a PhD student at UCSD and also unit chair of UAW 2865. And I'm here to share with you a little bit of what's going on at UCSD. And very simply, what's going on is they're trying to scare us and intimidate us for asking for our contract. We went on a historic strike together, the largest in academia. We won historic contracts together, and now they think they can take them away from us by denying our rights and denying our co-workers our rights. Now, you may have all heard about the arrests, but let me paint a fuller picture of the escalating retaliation and intimidation that's going on at UCSD. Many of us have had the same contract implementation problems. We have been underpaid, wage theft is rampant in the UC system. They have not implemented interim measures. They have been breaking the contract in many different ways. And so we thought we'd ask nicely. We would file a grievance. We would follow the process. But when has asking nicely from this university ever worked? And we knew that. So we organized a lot of direct actions. We organized rallies, departmental actions. And what did the university respond with? They slapped us with 67 student misconduct charges. These charges were very targetedly filed at union leaders, including myself. They're trying to go after union organizing on campus. They're trying to go after all of us for winning a historic contract. Now, on May 30th, a bunch of Scripps Institute of Oceanography workers were fed up with the lack of contract implementation. They decided to organize a demonstration. They wrote with chalk slogans like "livable wage now" to demonstrate to their administration what's happening with them. And instead of addressing the issue of living wages, UCPD showed up at their doors and arrested them, confiscated their laptops, confiscated their belongings, and they had to stay in jail for the whole night. And to be honest with you all, when I first heard of the arrests, I was scared. I'm an international worker. It's scary to find out that your co-workers have been arrested for union organizing. But then I heard about all my co-workers doing jail support. I saw hundreds and hundreds of co-workers come out at the courthouse to support the workers going for their court hearing. And now I'm standing in front of you all. So you tell me, did UC's retaliation work? No! Did they scare us? No! So to remind the UC what we're going to do a chant together. This is one of my favorite chants. It really represents why we're all out here. So, an injury to one. An injury to one. An injury to one. So in conclusion, we can't let this retaliation stand. We at San Diego, we workers have been discussing how this is an existential threat to our union. Being able to not exercise our right to protest, being able to not take militant action against our employer is an existential threat. We have to meet this egregious authoritarian power with our worker power. We got to consider all options that are on our table, from the smallest departmental actions all the way to where our real power lies. We got to think about withholding our labor and consider the option of a ULP strike. So to commit to each other that we'll organize against this retaliation, we're going to remind the university what kind of power we have. So when UCSD workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When UC workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! When any workers are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Let's give it up one more time for Urian. Next up to speak is Julia Falo San Juan, a postdoctoral researcher at UC Berkeley who studies molecular and cellular development.
Okay, hello everyone. Thank you for making it all the way here in this fine, gray San Francisco morning. My name is Julia. I'm a postdoc in molecular and cell biology at UC Berkeley, where I study how genes are activated. I'm also an organizer with UAW 5810, and I'm currently the campus chair for postdocs at Berkeley. So the Regents must be wondering what these hundreds of people are doing here at 8 a.m. on a Wednesday. So let's talk some recent history. As you know, we, grad student workers, postdocs, and academic researchers at the University of California went on strike last November. All 48,000 of us. And it took 6 long weeks, but by the end of it, we all got new contracts with great benefits. UC agreed to the terms of these contracts, and we ratified them. And what's happened since? UC has found every possible way of ignoring these contracts. And here are some examples. Postdocs are still getting short appointments, and the UC is making no effort to fix that. Up to 900 postdocs, which is 10% of postdocs statewide, did not get the raise in April. Many departments are still using shady appointment percentages to pay their grads less than their owed. And this is now adding up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what's worse, when we exercise our right to protest, to make sure we get the rights and benefits we are entitled to, they retaliate, as it happened in San Diego. So when we try to enforce our contracts through the official route, they delay and deny the process. And when we protest and write slogans in chalk, they arrest our co-workers. This is wrong, unlawful, and completely inconsistent with a university that claims to be the best public institution in the US. And it's clear why they're acting this way. They're upset that under the law, they have to treat us as equals. And they're also upset that we've chosen to fight back. So they've arrested 60 of our co-workers, they've given 60 of our co-workers student misconduct, and they've also arrested 3 of our co-workers with criminal charges. And this is all just an effort to scare us away from fighting for our rights. Are we going to let that stop us? We demand that all charges are dropped and our contracts fairly implemented. We are 48,000 workers and we're not going anywhere. We'll keep painting with chalk, marching on our bosses, and doing whatever it takes until that happens. We're not going to let UC intimidate us. Thank you, Julia.
is Ada Briseño, the co-president of UniteHere Local 11. Let's give her all a big round of applause.
How are you? Wow, good morning everyone. My name is Ada Briseño and I'm co-president of UniteHere Local 11, a union that represents over 32,000 workers in Southern California, and I'm also chair of the Democratic Party of Orange County. 32 years ago I was a hotel worker, but I am committed to the next 32 years because of the fights that we as labor have been in the last 3, 4, 6 months. It's empowered me and encouraged me to keep fighting amongst all of you. We've been on the picket line with so many workers, whether it was the Teamsters, SAG-AFTRA, the writers, the hotel workers, AFSCME, UAW, and UHW. It's really incredible. It's really incredible. It is a very hot summer. Folks, we're here to tell the Regents that no retaliation, right? There's no retaliation. Drop the charges now and treat your workers as you should. Many of you know that UniteHere Local 11 has undertaken the biggest wave of hotel strikes in the region's history. We have seen a big outpour of support from the community and other unions, but bosses are bosses, right? And hoteliers have gone to great strengths to break our strikes. In response to the strikes by the workers at the Cliff Marriott, Laguna Cliff Marriott, and by the way, we've got the workers right here. The Fairfield, El Segundo, and the Aloft, El Segundo, Ambridge Hospitality has brought in workers from a third-party agency to break our strike. But the outrageous part of that, because we already know what they do, right? The outrageous part of it is that these hotels have employed very few black workers amongst the permanent staff. Despite our ongoing demands for years to bring black workers into the hotel industry. And we've been demanding diversity in our hotels. But yet, when it comes to breaking the strikes, of course they found black workers to work. So it was okay for them not to give pension benefits and health care and a way for black workers to bring their families into good jobs. But they will have them scab, and we will not stand for that. Are you ready to fight with us? We believe it's the responsibility of the UC Regents to see that Ambridge does not do that any further. And so we ask them, we ask that you all ask them to stand strong with us. We need black workers in the hospitality industry. We need to settle our contract. And as you know, we stand strongly with UAW to make sure that the charges are dropped ASAP. And also with AFSCME fighting for a fair contract, $25 is what they should get and more. We all deserve to be able to put a roof over our heads. The high cost of living, especially here in this city and the surrounding areas. Enough is enough. Workers are rising, and I'm so proud to stand side by side, all of you. Thank you for having us here. I want to introduce, you might already know this, you may introduce me to this, but I want to do a chant with you. And this is one of the chants that we do, in our union. And it's in Spanish, and hopefully you'll join us. So you ready? Regent, escucha, estamos en la lucha. 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 All right, but we'll kick off with this. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. When we fight, we win.
Cliff Marriott. We have a hotel worker here, Emilce Pineda, who is also a member of UniteHere Local 11. Please welcome Emilce.
Hola. Buenos días, mi nombre es Emilce Pineda. Soy housekeeping en el Hotel Resort de Marriott de Dana Point. Antes de obtener mi trabajo, por tiempo completo, trabajaba en una agencia de terceros, donde no tenía buenos beneficios y mi salario estaba muy por debajo de lo que se puede vivir. En ese entonces, la agencia nos pagaba alrededor de $9 por cuarto. Te ganabas $9 haciendo un cuarto. Ahora, con el sindicato, mi salario asciende a 18.
So good morning, my name is Emilce Pineda and I'm a housekeeper at the Laguna Cliff Marriott in Dana Point in South Orange County. Before getting my full-time union job at the hotel, I worked for a third-party agency. Oughta laid out what those kind of look like for you guys earlier, where I did not have good benefits and my pay was far below what is livable. Back then, the agency only paid me about $9 per room. These housekeepers have to clean 15 to 20 rooms a day sometimes. $9 per room. Now with the union, my wage comes out to about $18 per room.
Thank you. Aunque soy nueva en el personal de tiempo completo del hotel, sabía que tenía que ir a huelga con mis hermanos, porque necesitamos más, especialmente mejores beneficios y una pensión. Por eso voté sí por la huelga y aquí salí. Por eso caminé en los piques de los 3 días. Es por eso que estoy aquí frente a ustedes.
Even though I'm new on full-time staff at the hotel, I knew I had to go on strike with my brothers and sisters because we need more, especially better benefits and a pension. That is why I voted yes on the strike and walked out. That is why I walked the picket line for all 3 days at my hotel. And that is why she is here in front of you today.
Bueno, mientras estábamos en la huelga, un huésped que era un hombre bastante alto, yo soy bajita, me golpeó. Me maldijo, me dijo que era una perra. Bueno, otras palabras que la verdad no sé inglés, no las entendí. Sé que me maldijo. Me dio un puñetazo en la cabeza. El hotel nunca me identificó a este hombre. He pedido los videos y no lo han hecho. A pesar de que lo hemos pedido, que nos ayuden a averiguar quién es, que yo sepa, él nunca enfrentó ninguna persecución por atacarme. Al día siguiente, cuando terminamos nuestro pique y volvimos a trabajar, estaba asustada, aterrorizada, de pensar que lo iba a ver, de pensar que me tocaba limpiar el cuarto de él, de pensar de si me ve, me reconoce, me va a golpear.
So she says, while we were out on strike, a guest who was a very large man swore at her and punched her in the side of the head, or attacked her. He called her a bitch and other offensive words that she doesn't know how exactly to say in English, I think. Before he walked back into the hotel right after doing that. Boo! The hotel never identified this man to her or to the union, even though they asked them for help to figure out who this guy was. As far as she's aware, the man never faced any repercussions for attacking her. The next day, when they ended their picket, she went back into work and she was terrified that she would see this guest in the hotel. She's a housekeeper. And especially concerned that she might find herself alone if she were assigned to his room. After the assault, after the stress that she endured, and the headaches and even fainting at work, she had to be treated by paramedics the next day at work when she went back in.
También noté algo irónico. En el hotel, en los cuartos, colocan 2 aguas, 2 waters. Valen $9 lo que yo me gano haciendo un cuarto. $9 vale el agua. Venden el agua, me pagaron el cuarto a mí. Dime.
Do you want me to translate that? Yes. So she also noticed something very ironic when she went back into work. They were selling water bottles in the guest rooms for $9 an hour. And she remembered that that's the exact price that they used to pay her per room that she would clean when she worked for agency.
$9 por limpiar esas fecales, por limpiar vómito, por encontrarte con cualquier cantidad de fluidos en un cuarto. Pagan $9 a nosotros y lo tenemos que hacer en 40 minutos. No importa. No importa cómo esté el cuarto.
Yeah, so she says that for $9 you'd have to clean the sheets, wash the towels, clean the curtains, clean the entire room, right? And it might take 40 minutes. I mean, this is a huge resort. For context, in Dana Point, Laguna Cliff Marriott is this massive palatial resort. $9 for that work. That's what they thought of them.
¿Saben ustedes a cuántas enfermedades estamos expuestos housekeeping? Por levantar una toalla, por quitar una sábana, y no tenemos ni siquiera el derecho de tener un médico. Yo me enfermé en el hotel. Después del golpe que el guest me dio, me desmayé. No quise ir al hospital. Me vale el bill por lo menos $10,000. Preferí seguir así y no poder ir al hospital. No tengo el dinero para pagar $10,000.
Yeah, sorry. So Milce's going off script. My Spanish isn't great, but I think she was saying that, you know, they pay them very little, right? And when she went to the paramedics, for example, she was really worried that she couldn't pay for her bills after she got hit in the head by a guest. That's crazy.
Sabemos lo que valemos, lo que el hotel puede pagar. Le pedimos a los regentes que por favor, please, obliguen al hotel a aceptar nuestras demandas. Terminemos con este pésimo trato a los trabajadores que hacen posible esa inversión. El hotel existe por housekeeping. Housekeeping es el corazón.
So she says, we know what we're worth and we know what the hotel can afford. Regents, please make the hotel agree to our demands and end this terrible treatment of workers who make your investment possible, because we make the hotel run, we housekeeping.
Economic justice. We are here this morning in support of hotel workers with UniteHere Local 11. And I want to kind of repeat something I said inside, because I don't think y'all heard it outside. And so what I said was, building larger police forces and militarizing our communities by arresting UAW organizers and researchers for writing on sidewalks with chalk that's here today and gone tomorrow is absurd. Instead, they ought to be arresting people who are causing generational poverty through income inequality and inequity. When private equity firms are worth $900 billion and CEOs make millions yet refuse to pay workers an anti-displacement wage, it is sickening and immoral. When we refuse to pay a living wage, it is sickening and immoral. No, instead they would rather entrench plantation capitalism. Because America has never gotten the plantation out of its system. Look at my skin, then you'll get what I'm trying to say. And of course, they want to build more hotels to increase tourism, but it's not because they care about the tourists, it's because they care about the profits. You see, during the pandemic in Los Angeles, they decreased all social services, but they increased the police budget. Why? Because they need the police to intimidate you when you strike. They need the police to arrest you when you strike. They need the police to come to your home unjustly and serve you a warrant for striking. Come on, somebody, can I preach today? But we stand with you, and we will fight. And when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, listen, I'm also part of one of the largest movements for social justice in the history of America and the world, that is Black Lives Matter. And in 2020, we told you they would do these oppressive things to folks who are doing absolutely nothing. And they've been doing this for years. What they're going to do is continue to line their pocket, displace our people, increase policing to create containment zone, and then arrest you when you say, hell no. So are you going to put up with that? Are you going to put up with that? Are you going to fight? Are you going to win? Are you going to fight? Are you going to win? I say one love.
Thank you, Pastor Q. The fight for racial justice, the fight for labor unions, it's all connected and we need to make it one fight. Next up to speak is Mike Miller, the Regional Director of Region 6. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you, Luna. Hey, everybody. Hey, UAW family. Hey, UC Union family. Hey, Unite Here, Local 11. I bring you greetings from the entire International Executive Board, the leadership body of the UAW. President Fain sends his strong support and solidarity for everything that we're doing here. I want to say a special thank you to Unite Here, Local 11. Local 2865 has a long, proud history of working together with Local 11. We fought in the 90s at USC to win contracts then for Local 11 members. We fought. I personally got arrested doing civil disobedience at the New Otani Hotel when we were trying to organize there in the 90s, as well as a number of other Local 2865 members. So we stand in strong solidarity with you. We appreciate the solidarity today here, and your fight in Los Angeles is our fight, and we will be there until you win. Thank you also to all of our union partners in the UC Union Coalition, UPTI, AFSCME, CNA, CIR. I'm sure I'm for Teamsters. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, and I apologize for that. But thank you all for being here. This is a huge fight that we've got against the arrogant administration of the University of California. When they come into someone's home unwelcome, when they send the police into someone's home unwelcome, and they have a warrant, let me quote from the warrant. The warrant says, this is what they're looking for. And an assistant district attorney in San Diego signed off on this warrant, okay? They're looking for, quote, evidence of membership or affiliation with university organization paraphernalia to include any reference to UAW or AFSCME, and any drawings, writings, objects, or graffiti depicting names, initials, logos, monikers, slogans, or mention of UAW or AFSCME membership or affiliation, activity, or identity. That's outrageous. That's an attack on every single one of us as working people. It's an attack, it's a form of retaliation for us exercising our rights as workers, as union members, and as our First Amendment rights under the Constitution. It's absolutely unacceptable, it's outrageous, and it needs to stop. We need to send a very strong message to the regents and the other arrogant administrators at the University of California that we are not afraid, we're not going to stand for this, and we're going to keep fighting until we win what we have already negotiated and that they've already agreed to. I want to make one other point about what they're arresting people for and what they're charging them with these bogus, trumped up student conduct charges. For allegedly writing on concrete with chalk. Okay? We had this big strike a few months ago. Many of you might remember that. You were probably there. There was a lot of chalking that went on at UC San Diego during that strike. And the university administration actually wrote to us and said, please stop chalking on the buildings that have wood on them. Please only chalk on the buildings that are concrete. The thing that people got arrested for was chalking, allegedly, on a building that's made out of concrete. They invited us to do the very thing that they then arrested us for doing. It's outrageous. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming out today. Thanks for fighting. We'll end with some chanting. UC Teaching. UC Research. UC Prestige. UC Workers. UC Teaching. UC Research. UC Prestige. UC Workers. All right, thanks.
Let's give it up for Mike Miller and all of Region 6. So we actually do have one last speaker. Emily Weintraub is a graduate student researcher in food science at UC Davis.
Hi everyone. So I'm Emily. And we kind of talked about what's happening at Davis, but just for some background. Since we won increased abuse protections in our new contracts, numerous women have come forward at Davis to report harassment and bullying to the university. These reports range across many types of abusive behavior, from discrimination and bullying to physical and sexual harassment. In all of these cases, the university is being willfully negligent in providing justice to these women. The university has refused to listen to them, put them through endless bureaucratic processes, and has even claimed that these brave women made up their reports. They're using all of this to avoid implementing the contracts they signed in December, and in the process, they're denying protections to survivors. One of these cases involves a serial abuser who's been reported numerous times over the past few years. We went through every channel, gradually escalating it to the next office and process when we could. We collected multiple petitions with hundreds of signatures and delivered them to department heads and top Davis admin. We even had hundreds of industry leaders sign petitions, conferences relocated, and professional organizations started their own investigations. But the university has refused to take action and protect the survivors. No matter who we talk to, no matter which of these cases it is, whether it's department admins or top Davis admins, we're hearing the same lines. I have no power to do anything. These women have escalated, they've grieved, they've done everything. And what has the university done? Nothing!
and bringing the fight directly to the boss. And are we gonna stop? No! Hell no, we won't. And what we're doing here today, what our colleagues in SoCal did last Monday for the felony charges allegedly for chalk, it's been working. At the arraignment, UCPD failed to turn over any evidence and the arraignment couldn't proceed. The University of California knows all eyes are on them, but we need to keep pushing. We need to keep